Hi everyone, my name is Anne Russell and I'm an actor and a lecturer on the Effective Public Speaking course here in Griffith College. We all know how important it is to be able to communicate our ideas clearly and with confidence, and yet so many people find speaking in public a real challenge. Before I became an actor, I worked in the private sector, mainly in the area of telecommunications. And even back then, I could see how many people were really nervous about speaking in public, how widespread that was. Even among people who had very senior positions, often in very skilled roles. And I could see how frustrating this was for them and how even occasionally it could have a negative impact on their careers. And then I changed careers and trained as an actor and a drama teacher. And I began to see the parallels between performing on stage and speaking in public. As actors, we are trained in how best to use our voices, how to vary the tone, how to support the voice with the breath, and how to connect with an audience for maximum impact. All of these skills are essential for anyone speaking in a public way. Whether you're presenting to clients, speaking to colleagues, or even speaking at a social occasion such as a wedding, any of these situations can be daunting, and taking the fear out of them is one of the primary objectives of this course. There are common challenges, and one of the most common ones is that people are inclined to speak too quickly. I suppose it's natural when we're nervous, we just start to speed up. So it's important to get people to slow down, take their time. Another thing that people do is they forget to change their tone. So this is really important as well. There are so many aspects to it, but what we do in the course is we tackle one aspect at a time. For example, improving the vocabulary, again to keep the audience interested. Using PowerPoint. PowerPoint is a very useful tool, but it's important to use it properly to make an impact. Many jobs are hybrid these days, so we give advice on managing online meetings and conference calls. This is a really practical course. People are presenting all of the time, and each time they present, they're given feedback. I encourage people to focus on one thing at a time each time they present. It might be, as I said earlier, the pace. It might be making eye contact. It might be their body language, their stance, so that each time they do a presentation, they focus on one area and then they can see that improve, and in that way they build confidence. Well, learning any new skill takes time. It takes time to gain proficiency. And really there's no magic bullet. But I do have some tips which I think might be useful. The first thing I would emphasize is that you really must prepare. You have to prepare thoroughly. Rehearse always out loud. And then when you have prepared thoroughly, shift your focus from yourself to the audience. Think about what they need to see and hear in order for this to be an interesting and engaging and worthwhile experience for them. There really are no shortcuts when it comes to that. The next thing I would say is be yourself. Don't try to be like anybody else. Remember, we're all individuals, so be yourself, but be the best self you possibly can be in the situation in which you find yourself. It does take time, but it's a skill, and like any other skill, it can be learned. I believe that, and I've seen it over the years. So it's important for people to give themselves the time to learn this new skill. You owe it to yourself.